Tell me about San Francisco and the life of a yogi there.
Well, I taught in the Bay Area for many years. I lived in Marin County for a long time and eventually moved to San Francisco and opened my studio there in 2001. San Francisco has always been a place that has been very progressive in terms of spirituality and technology. Perhaps mainly, first, a lot of Chinese and Asian immigrants that were Buddhists came over in the Great Gold Rush, in the 1850s, in that era. And so right away there was this great diversity. And this great diversity brings up a rich spiritual heritage. And it's almost as if the Bay Area is one of the places that is a launching pad for New Age, spiritual development, progressive thinking, holistic health, and progressive ideas. And then comes the psychedelia and all of that drug experimentation with LSD in the major universities of the Bay Area. And so there was a concentration of intellectuals with open minds, experimenting, trying to figure out what's real. And so this was happening a lot in San Francisco Bay Area, and it has for decades. And suddenly yoga started to take off and become very popular in 2000, 2001, 2002. And yoga studios started to pop up all over the Bay Area. And San Francisco, over the last decade or so, has become one of the meccas of yoga in the West, along with New York, LA. So there's a lot of great yoga going on in San Francisco, many different styles of yoga, many different teachers. A lot of who we regard as our senior teachers have come from the Bay Area and California specifically.
For example?
Rodney Yee, Tim Miller, Sarah Powers. The list is long. There are many different generations of teachers, that have sprung up. And now we're in our second and third generation, perhaps, and yoga is becoming more popular. Teacher trainings are being offered everywhere, and so people have the opportunity to immerse themselves in the teachings of yoga and develop their skills of teaching yoga, which means spreading the seeds of yoga. And so this yoga pyramid is getting bigger. It's also getting taller. The pyramid of yoga is getting bigger because more and more people are turned on to it at their gym, at their health club, at their school or university. And then the people at the top of the pyramid, who are they? They're the experienced yogis who keep deepening their practice.
They're like at the cutting edge.
They keep pushing
with
up.
Their own practice, defining
Their own practice is taking the pyramid higher. And so San Francisco has a beautiful, strong, ascending pyramid of yoga that's spreading wide, and yoga is now getting quite popular in the Midwest as well. Of course, East Coast is turned on. Yoga is really spreading in Europe as well, which is beautiful to see.
What can you tell us about the yoga culture?
Yoga culture. Well, what happens usually when someone starts to practice yoga, they start to sense that, wow, I feel good. I feel good coming out of class. I'm stronger. I feel more graceful in my body. I feel more awake and alive as it's almost as if I have better sense of myself and I'm more sensitive to myself and others. And so this health thing, they start feeling good, they start enjoying the health benefits, and they start to notice that they have more energy, they're more sensitive, and suddenly this is a stepping stone to perhaps what we could call a spiritual awakening that happens within them. And so perhaps they weren't really interested in meditation and spirituality or helping other people before, but now as they become more sensitive to themselves and other people, they notice that there's something more to this yoga than just me getting a nice butt.
Where did you take your first yoga
In
class?
San Francisco. That gentleman is Bhagwan Das. That's Greensufi. Greensufi was my personal guru and best friend for 14 years. He passed away in 2010. He lived with me in the yoga studio, Greenpath, for several years. Met him in a juice bar in Fairfax, and he gave me a lot of guidance. You know, he taught me how to sit, be still, meditate, listen, be still, pay attention, wake up. These were a lot of his strengths, and he's the smartest man I ever met. Never saw him in a bad mood, never saw him yawn. He woke up every day before sunrise for decades, often in samadhi around the house, around the yoga studio. This is the greatest blessing of my life, pretty much, is to have him as my friend and teacher. You just showed me pictures of Pattabhi Jois, a beautiful man. I was really inspired by his smile the first time I met him in 1996. That's what I remember the most. He smiled at me like as if, you know, I was a friend of his, but he looked and smiled at me when I met him as if I was a friend of his, but it's the way he is with everybody. He's a really happy, joyful person. Very strong command, very strong presence, incredibly intelligent and highly educated, Sanskrit master. He's the master teacher of Ashtanga Yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga from Mysore, South India, and I studied with him for many years, 14, 15 years, and he passed away in 2009. It was much warmer, the sun came out a lot, and sometimes we even did the classes not inside the tent, but even out in the sun. It was beautiful. Got to play music again with my friend David Lurie, and met a lot of new people. And we got to sense a little bit more deeply the Dutch yoga culture. It was fantastic. I swam in the lake. That was really cool. I didn't do that last year. It was a little too cold. But I had a great time.
Right now. Thank you so much, Clayton, for your time and for your expertise and for your words of wisdom and inspiration.
Pleasure, Aliana. Thank you.
I hope this video can share the yoga seeds with many others who would be interested in practicing and doing their first yoga class. So I invite everybody to go around and look if there are any yoga schools in your neighborhood, and go and check it out and see what the yoga is all about. And we will keep you informed at www.samadhi yoga. And you can also visit us in our YouTube page, which is Amala Luz Amala. That's Amala Luz Amala. And till our next time, go in peace, go in beauty. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Yoga Moves.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Clayton, thank you.